Good evening. You're about to hear the story of Moby Pick. The story starts 41 years ago on August the 4th, 1981. That's our story starts then. The story of Moby Pick starts eons before that in the legends of the Iroquois of Lake Chebandewan. Moby Pick was the magic fish of the Iroquois. The person that caught this fish would have a lifetime supply of pickerel. It was a prize sought after by Iroquois for generations after generations. And what you're about to hear is the story of the fisherman that caught Moby Dick in Lake Chebandewan in 1981. The story you are about to hear is recorded at the actual time of the events in 1981, and the photographs that you see were also taken at the same time. The main character in the stories are, of course, Moby Pick, and also one of the greatest of the unheralded fishermen of Lake Chebandewan, Fisherman Don, and his trusty deckhand, Robert, who was learning to be a fisherman just like his father. 12 years before this story begins, the explorer Fisherman Bill first set foot on the lands around Lake Chebandewan. Here we have a picture of his ship called the Boat on shore on Treasure Island. It is this place where Fisherman Bill and his assistant Robert came to fish in 1981 for the magic fish Moby Dick. It is 6:30 p.m. in the evening. The sun is starting to set in the western sky, and the boat has been packed and ready to take off for the fishing expedition. One of the most enjoyable aspects of fishing in Lake Chebandewan is the peace and quiet of the fishing experience, the serenity that abounds. There's very little sound you can hear except the loons calling. And so now we take off in peace and quiet at the start of our journey. Listen for the peace and quiet.
We are now starting into the peace and quiet of our big fishing expedition. Okay, go.
Look at this.
Okay, go. Stand up. Okay. Okay. What's the It is now peace and quiet. Hard as it is to believe, it is now half an hour since our journey began. With the help of Robert, we landed the biggest pickerel we have ever caught on Lake Chebandewan. Just a minute, and we'll get a few words. If you'll just hold that nectarine for me, Robert, we'll get a few words from the fish. Are you saying anything, any more, fish? There was a few words from the fish. That's pretty hard to do, belly up. Not still holding? Yeah. We are now leaving the fishing grounds of the big fisherman and going to see how others in the fishing expedition are doing in Moose Bay or points west.
Flushed with the success of their fishing expedition, the duo of Fisherman Don and now promoted to assistant fisherman Robert head off to Moose Bay. As they entered Moose Bay, they met the boat driven by Pa and with Fisherman Annie in the front seat. They called out, "Have you had any luck fishing, boys?" And the answer back from Captain Don was, Fisherman Don was, "Just caught one." He couldn't wait for them to see the magic fish, Moby Pick. They lifted their string of fish out of the water to show 4 nice looking pickerel on a string. And Ma never thought that Fisherman Don would ever amount to anything, and she kind of looked at him and said, "There, 4-1. And Fisherman Don slowly lifted Moby Pick out of the water on the chain, and Pa looked over and smiled and said, "That's the biggest fish I've seen from this lake." And Fisherman Annie piped in, "It's too big for to eat, make good eating." And that's the story of what happened on the night they caught Moby Pick.
We're now using new space to go in and weigh. This has been the daily fishing report. We're now signing off on is for August the 3rd, 1981.
Here's Don.
This is Don signing off.
This is Don signing off.
P.S. There's more news bulletins to come.
The reward of a good night's fishing was to get back to base camp and play card games around the fire. This was the time when younger fishermen like Fisherman Robert, who by now had gone to fisherman apprentice status, learned the vocabulary of the fishermen, the words that would come in good stead as they fished and played cards for the rest of their lives. He was taught to Robert by his grandmother, Fisherman Annie. And so here we have a segment.
After fishing tonight, this crazy dog named Misty went into the bush and found a skunk and got sprayed. Now here is the smell. Wasn't that a funny smell? Bye-bye. Signing off.
It is now the night of August the 7th, and we are about to tape the call of a loon in front of a campfire. First, the sound of the campfire. And now, the call of the loon.
Here's the sound of the loon. Now, Daddy went out. Mommy got 15 that is. Grandma got 64. I got 13. Grandpa had 3, and guess who had 0? You don't have to guess, because, you know, the chubby one, you can't miss him. And now it's my deal.
And the Ojibwe tale that promised Fisherman Don all the pickerel he could ever eat for the rest of his life. Did that come true? Well, since that day, Fisherman Don has never been able to eat all the fish he's caught. He's always had to give some or all of it away. So you be the judge.
Good night, Robert.
Good night, Don.